Hi everyone, how are you? My name is Mackie and welcome to Mackie Really Reads. I hope everybody's well, everybody's safe, and everybody has been reading great books. If you have, or if you are currently reading a great book, don't forget to drop it down in the comments and I'll be sure to add it to my ever growing TBR. So today's video is going to be me recommending some Mafia romance books. Not just any Mafia books, but binge-worthy, addictive. Please grab a snack. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This is going to be a very long ass video. So grab a snack, please. First book, I'm looking down at my notes, alright? We all know this by now. When I'm looking down, I'm looking at my notes. So the first book I want to recommend is Nero by SJ Tilly. I laughed so hard. Like, I laughed so much. I was like, giggling. That's how funny this book is. Well, I found it funny. Like, I don't know about you, but I just love dark humor. I just love that strange kind of quirky type of humor that just it tickles me. It tickles me for real. So this book is about Nero and Peyton. Nero is the hero in the story. Peyton is a curvy heroine. She's a broke ass girl, which we all love. I just love when the heroine is like broke. I mean, I wouldn't want to be broke in real life. I'm not broke, but like, it's just so nice when the hero just like comes to rescue her and like it gives her everything she's always wanted. I love that in books, not in real life. That is a mess. That is tragic.
The ghetto! The ghetto!
I would not wish that. I, I would say I would not wish that on my enemies, but for now, currently at this moment in time, I do not have enemies. So this book starts off when Nero gets into Peyton's apartment. He's running away from the cops and he decides to hide out in her apartment while she is there watching a movie. And you know what this girl does? She literally sits in the couch with him. Not only does she sit in the couch with him, she continues to watch the movie with him. Then she falls asleep. Are you joking? Are you joking? Are you joking? She falls asleep. And real me is like, oh, she might have some issues. But like romance me is like, oh, she fell asleep because she felt safe. I love it. Love this book. Mira gets into her apartment and then she falls asleep. Then he just starts looking around her apartment. He loves the way she smells, so he steals like her body wash and then he puts like $100 there. Like some of her stuff keeps getting missing, like her underwear, her body wash, her combs, just weird stuff that you wouldn't normally like lose. Like you don't lose that type of stuff, right? And so that it's him. He is stalking her, and she is loving it. She's loving it. He like buys an apartment from across the complex, and then he watches her. And does he buy it or did he just barge in? Semantics doesn't matter. But they fall in love. It's amazing. Loved it. I loved Peyton. She's so sweet, man. Her life has been miserable all her life until Nero came in, and he is just kiss. He's amazing. Loved everything about this book. It was so funny. Then we have King. Now King in this book, he is unhinged. Literally, King is the most unhinged mafia man I've ever read about. Like I was like gasping. Like if I had pros, I would be touching them. Like what, ma'am? What? Like King is unhinged for real. So this book is about King. Obviously, he's the hero in the story. And then we have Savannah. She works at a coffee shop, so she is a barista. Starts off with Savannah. She is going on a date. She's meeting friends of the guy, whatever. And then she walks in. It turns out the guy is actually married to King's sister. Yeah, a lot of drama. And then it's just not a fun day for her or fun evening for her. Then she goes, to the tantrum. She's upset. She walks away. Then she goes to his apartment to fetch some of her stuff. And then she sees King unalive him. I think his name is like Leo or Theo, some name like that. Sorry to all the Leos and the Theos out there. Y'all rock except for him. And he kidnaps her because she just witnessed him unaliving someone. So what does he do? He forces her to marry him because you can't really testify against your husband or your spouse, can you now? Lawfully, no, you cannot. You cannot. So yeah, he does that. They obviously fall in love. Is it Stockholm syndrome or did they actually fall in love? I don't know, and I don't really care. King is unhinged, deliberately unhinged. I hear Dom is even, what is it, worse or better? Like he's more unhinged than King. So I'm very excited for that. I am truly, truly excited for this. I love SJ Tilly. I like her writing. Now, the next book I want to recommend is Was I Ever Here by Noami Loud. This book, this series, this series is unlike any other Mafia series that I have read. It is truly so beautiful. It was one of my favorite books that I read last year. So the basis of this entire series is reincarnation, just past lives. Um, you know, that saying of like you're reincarnated every time to be with the person you love the most, and you kind of have to fix your karma or fix your life and stuff. So this is what this book is about. It is not time traveling. They are actually reincarnated. So the first book is about Sunny and Byzantine. In the prologue, we witness them as this gay couple that cannot be together. So one breaks up with the other, and then I think it's Sunny. She jumps off a cliff, very dramatic. Fast forward to this present time, we have Sunny. She is just very, very depressed. She had a twin sister who passed away. She kind of feels like it's her fault. She's very alone in this life. She's just so outcasted from everything and from everyone. She doesn't even have a family close by. And then she works at a club. She's just working herself. That's all she does. She just works, drinks, and maybe sleeps, And then one day she is working at the club. She's about to close. Her boss is honestly the worst, which we all know bosses are the worst. And then the boss that is, he gets unalived by Byzantine because he did something to Byzantine, and it's just revenge. Revenge is so sweet, man. Revenge is so sweet. Well, in this book, it is like revenge is sweet in books, but like I wouldn't say do that in real life because I don't think you want to go to jail. No, do you? You don't. So don't do it. Don't do it. I didn't advise that. You didn't hear that from me. While Byzantine is busy analyzing Sunny's boss, right? He sees her from across like the room. The eyes lock, right? And it's just like that. It's like, I know you, you know me, it's game. And she's like, sir, I don't know who you are, but you're just unlike my boss, and I'm scared of you. So she's like terrified of him. And you know what Byzantine does the next day? He literally buys the club that she works at, and he stalks her. Well, I want to say stalking. Stalking is a little much, He just follows her. He just follows her to work, and from the club, he makes sure like she's safe. He's caring about her. You know what I mean? He makes sure she's safe, and so she does not like it. But he's like, I'm not letting you go. I know who you are. He knows he's like with he does have the memory of like remembering what happened, so he's like, I don't want to hurt you anymore. I don't want us to not be together. I'm just so tired. I just want to be with you. And he kind of has to let her know, but gently, like, I know you, you know me, we're supposed to be together. And yeah, it's such a beautiful, beautiful love story. It was honestly so so amazing, just true love at its finest. If you really want like a mafia story that is just based on true love, like a love story you can go like wow, tears, just like angst, desperation, just so much passion and love, I would definitely recommend this book. The next book in the series is Was I Ever Real. Now this is Sunny's best friend and Byzantine's best friend, who is the boss of their mob. It's not really, I wouldn't call it like a mafia. They're more like mobsters and stuff. So Akana is the name of the hero in the story. Then we have Lennox. Like I said, she's Sunny's best friend. We do see her in the first book. We see both of them. And they kind of have this hate to love romance where they don't really like each other, but they just do not get along. They do not get along. But Lennox has a very, very sad past. She was part of a cult. Um, a lot of things happened to her when she was in that cult. She finally does run away. Such a beautiful romance. I really enjoyed this one. It is interracial as well. So Phoenix has kind of been living this false life, just kind of pretending to be this happy-go-lucky, very confident girl. But Connor sees right through that, and he really wants to get to know her and get to know like who she is. But I mean, he does irritate her a lot. She really does. So one day, Lennox is driving to her apartment, and then there's a guy that is stalking her that just wants to bring her back to the cult. The guy happens to be the guy she was arranged to marry. So that is not good for her. She does not want to go back at all. So she calls Connor to come help her. And what does he do? He comes running, flying through literally the entire city to go get her. And it's just so romantic. I just love this so much. He is like, someone's off to you. I don't know who they are. I don't know what they want. And then Nix is like, oh, I don't know who they want as well. Like, I don't know why they want me. Like, I don't even have money. She's not even telling him the truth. And he's like, you're lying. I know you're lying, but I will keep you safe, and you need to go pack your bags and you move into my mansion. Yeah, and there's a little secret there. It involves Elvis and Las Vegas. Epic. I'm, like I always tell you, I'm very naive. I did not see that coming. Y'all know I'm very naive. So yeah, I did give this book 5 stars. There's a lot of trigger warnings. This series is very, very dark. Please check out the trigger warnings in this series. It's very, very dark. Like, and not just like the type of violence dark, just like emotional, psychological stuff. So please do check out the triggers for this book. Then the next series I want to recommend to y'all is Violent Delights. This is a White Monarch series by Jessica Hawkins. I loved the series. This is a cartel romance. It's one of my, I think my first cartel romance. I really want to read more, but I think I don't want to say it's hard to find, but I have not heard good things of other cartel romances. But if you do have a really good cartel romance, drop it down, please. And thank you very much. So this book, it is a love triangle between two brothers. Epic, literally, so epic. Um, this love triangle is between Natalia, who is the heroine in the story, and we have Cristiano, who is the hero in the story, and Diego, he is Cristiano's brother. So what happens is Diego and Cristiano have always been part of Natalia's family. Natalia is like cartel family. I would say they're very, very, very close. Like extremely, extremely close. Like they families get along. They've been best friends for a very, very long time. So the kids always get together and they have fun and just normal stuff like birthday parties, blah blah blah. And then one day when Cristiano is 15, I think Diego is 8 and Natalia is 6. Natalia's mom passes away, and they pin it on Cristiano because I think he had the gun at that time, and Cristiano runs away. But Diego literally wasn't even in the room, but he was like, oh, Cristiano did it. I know he did it. So he kind of like manipulates Natalia a lot, saying like, you shouldn't trust my brother. It's a good thing he's gone. Like he killed your mom, blah, 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 blah. So Natalia goes away. I think she goes to the US to go study. She finally comes back. She's still in love with Diego. Like she's always kind of had like this infatuation with him. And Cristiano comes back after he's been gone for I think over 10 years. Everyone doesn't like him. Like she hates him. She's like, you did this to my mom. I know it was you. He was like, did you even see me do that? But he doesn't like, he kind of plays mind games with her. Like, I know you want me, even though you think I did this and this and this and this. So it's like, what? It's like, which brother is more toxic? It's almost like that, but Cristiano just makes Natalia so strong, so brave. She is the person she didn't even know she was, and I think that's the best type of love. Like for me, like my boyfriend Brandon, he makes me feel like literally I can conquer the world. Even though sometimes I feel like I can barely get out of bed, like I cannot do this. He's like, no, you gotta do it. You can do this. Like, no, 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 no. I'm not in love with a loser. Which sounds harsh, but it's like the best thing for me and him. Like Yin to my yang. He's my soulmate. It's a trilogy, so it is so amazing. I loved it. Literally, I always say about the story, about the series actually, that it's like Encanto, but Mafia. Like it's so many bright colors and it's so vibrant and lively. It's so amazing. Like the atmosphere, the aesthetics that she writes about is literally the most beautiful ever. Like it's so beautiful and bright and just colorful and you feel happy, but you know you shouldn't be happy because this is a mafia book. Like what is going on? So I very much enjoyed this book. I gave the first one 4 stars. Then the second and third one I gave it 5 stars. Absolutely love this. So the next series that I read is the Corrupt Royal series by Michelle Hurd. And I believe it or not, this was my first time ever reading a Michelle Hurd book. So I was very excited, but also really nervous because there's a lot of hype. And she's from South Africa. So I was like, oh, if I don't like her now, I'm going to be like a hater. But I really enjoy her writing. She's very, very, very good at what she does. So I'm very, very happy. So the story is about Aurora and Misha. So Aurora and her best friend, they kind of escape their palace to go out for the night before they go to college. And she meets Misha there. They have like this love at first sight, instant attraction towards each other. So they kind of are chatting throughout the night, and then a bomb happens in the club. And they kind of like are stuck underneath, like underground. So she's badly, badly hurt. And he's just there. He's like, you're not die. You're not gonna die. You're not gonna die today. You're just not gonna die. And it's just so sweet. The first couple of chapters in the story are very, very, very sweet. And then fast forward, she gets rescued. We find out that Aurora's dad is actually the Italian mafia, and then Misha is part of the Bratva. So you already know they are enemies. And he hands Aurora to her dad, and he's like, "Next time, I won't save her." And she was in and out of this, so she didn't really hear it. But she's always had this love and need for him. She's like she calls him her Prince Charming. So yeah. And then fast forward to I think 3 years later, when she's around 21, she goes to a college. So this is like a mafia college where they teach you how to be or run the mafia family, whichever one it is. So it's like you need to fight, you need to learn how to escape, you need to learn how to like get out of a kidnapping, any sort of situation. Then she sees Misha, and they have this rule in the campus or in the college where they are not allowed to like hurt each other or unalive each other. That is, they can hurt someone, but you can't unalive them. And he's like, the next time he literally sees her, and it's like, the next time you leave these premises, I will unalive you. And she's like, what? I thought you liked me. So yeah, it is enemies to lovers. Very, very sweet. I felt so bad for Aurora, man. She didn't know nothing. She just came in blind. And the next story is Control Me. This is Aurora's best friend. This is an age gap. I, I wouldn't say it's like a teacher, because I mean he's teaching them how to fight, but he's just there as a sub. He is part of the Bratva as well. She's part of the Italian family. She is so annoying. He finds her to be so, so annoying. You actually see the interaction from the first book, and you just like wonder about them. So it's like, I mean, this book is basically if you have daddy problems, I mean, daddy issues, like we all do. Well, at least I do. I do. And yeah, it is a grumpy sunshine. So I really like that one. He's very, very grumpy, and he's like older, and he's like, I don't have time for this. I'm too old for this. And she's like, oh, sunshine and rainbows and ice cream. So very, very nice. I really enjoyed this one. I gave both book 4 stars. I'm waiting to have a 5 star book from Michelle Hurd. Maybe I should have started with the other series, the famous one. I forgot what it's called, but yeah, I'm not upset. I'm not upset with starting with this series. I will be continuing on though, very much. The next book is an arranged marriage between Misha's best friend and Misha's sister. So the next series that I want to recommend to y'all is the Anti-Heroes in Love series by Giana Darling. So the first book is When Heroes Fall by Giana Darling. The second one is When Villains Rise. Follow the same couple. It is about Elena Russo and Dante. Is it Dante Russo as well? I think so. I mean, obviously, they're gonna have the same surname because they get married. But this is a reverse grumpy sunshine, which I love so much. We need more grumpy girls. I, in my relationship with my partner right now, Brandon, I am very much the grump. He's very much sunshine. I'm very grumpy. Like originally, like my DNA is very much grump. You know, he's always telling me to take the stick out of my ass. So yeah, I mean that's just me. However, this story is so beautiful. Oh, it's one of my favorite. It actually is my favorite Giana Darling books series. I love the story so much. So Elena's a lawyer, and Dante is on trial. So she is helping him. She's part of the team, Dante's team, to help him get off, jail and all this stuff. And he is just like this ball of sunshine. He's always singing. He's greeting everyone. He's just so nice. And she's just like, why why are you talking to me? She's literally like that. She just like, oh, she does not like people. And I understand her situation. I understand why she is the way she is, man. I would be the same way. I would be the same way. But this story is just so beautiful. I can't say enough good things about it. Like I find myself thinking about Dante. I'm like, oh, he's such an amazing man. And she's such an amazing woman. They just make each other better. Like he is not gonna change her. Like he understands she's grumpy, and he's like, I don't care. You can be grumpy all you want, and I'm just gonna continue to be me. He loves her so much. He loves her fiercely and passionately, and she's never had that, and that's so beautiful to see. She she's amazing. She's a superstar. She's a rock star. Everybody, well, I love Elena, and I know a lot of people didn't like her from the beginning, from the other series, the Affair series. However, I am very much Team Elena. Team Team Elena forever. Then the next Mafia series I want to recommend is this one by Sophie Lark. This series, I haven't read this series in a very long time. This is the Brutal Birthright series. This is the first book, Brutal Prince. My favorite is Stolen Heir, Broken Vow, and then Bloody Heart, and then Brutal Prince. But I only have this book right now. I haven't got. I've bad myself from going book shopping. So we have Ada Gallo, and then we have Colin Griffin. I think yes, his name is Colin Griffin. He he's not really involved in the mafia, but he's like a politician. This is very much like she's so spicy. She does not want to marry him. Like she does not want to marry him. If you remember the strawberries, the strawberry scene lives unhinged. It lives rent free. It literally lives rent free in my head forever. This is like the best revenge. So good. So one day Ada she goes to Callum's mansion. She kind of sneaks into there. She accidentally starts a fire, and then he tries to unalive her, and it's like war because they've had peace for a little bit, but the families get together like, no, we cannot have this. We've been living peacefully amongst each other. We cannot afford to have this war, so they need to get married. And she's like, what? And he's like, who? You know, but they have to do it. They got married. It's so amazing. It's such a funny story. I loved it. This was actually my favorite, or the first enemies to lovers book that I've actually enjoyed. So that speaks a lot to Sophie Lark's writing. I did not enjoy enemies to lovers. I found it to be excessive. Um, just like it just didn't make sense to me. I didn't quite get it. Like, how can you have like be an enemy and then love someone? Like, there's a very thin line between love and hate. I've never really hated someone, so maybe that was it. And sometimes, like enemies to lovers, they're not really enemies. They just don't like each other. It's okay if you don't like someone. It doesn't mean you're enemies. You understand? But this one, they really they were enemies for real, for real, for real. This was such a beautiful story. She's also a curvy heroine. I really enjoyed this one. Then we have Stolen Heir. This is so beautiful. Stolen Heir is a beautiful. She's a ballet dancer. He's part of the Polish mafia. Just like Amisha and Nissa are amazing. So amazing. She's just like this sweet kind of girl. And he is just like a danger. He's red flags everywhere, but they make sense. It's literally like Beauty and the Beast. I would say it's like that, almost like that, like Beauty and the Beast. It's so amazing. Then you have Broken Bow, which is also a reverse Grumpy Sunshine. It's very much similar to the anti-heroes in love between Elena and Dante. Riona and what's his name again? Riona and I'll put his name down here. It's also with an R as well. But I loved that story so much. He's also a lawyer. He is in the military. He has to protect her because someone wants to unalive her because she's on a case or something. Then they have to go off to a ranch, his family's ranch, to protect her. So it's also like cowboy energy, reverse grumpy sunshine. So beautiful. It's not this book, but it's one, two, three, four, the fourth book in the series. And Bloody Hearts is also a beautiful story. It's a second chance romance, secret baby, childhood. I wouldn't say childhood friends, but maybe like teenage lovers. So yeah, it was still very beautiful. It's very heartbreaking though. Like Bloody Hearts, I almost cried. Ooh, it was very painful. It was a very painful story, but I did enjoy it. The next story that I want to recommend is Dante by Sadie Kincaid. Now, this is an arranged marriage, sort of. It doesn't start off that way. So, Kat is kidnapped by Dante because Kat's brother owes Dante's family, and he's like, for payment, I'll just take you. She was a nurse, so she kind of has use. And yeah, they kind of get into this physical relationship at the beginning, and then it just slowly leads to love. Well, Kat, she does fall in love with him very quickly, and he is very polarizing. I mean, I feel like towards the end I still didn't quite grasp or understand him. Like, he was just, I didn't get it. Like, is he really a good person or he isn't? Like, he keeps calling himself like a monster. I don't really see anything that he's done that's bad, but he's not doing anything good as well. So it's very polarizing, but it's very worth it. Very worth it. And then the second book is Dante's sister Joey, and yeah, Joey. It sounds like a Staten Island name. I always say that. She's not a nice person, and it's just something in that family about not being nice. But love brings out the best in everyone. So yeah, love that story as well. So yeah, let me know if you want a part two of the series. I have a lot more Mafia stories to recommend. So yeah, thank you so much for deciding to watch this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.